Record. All right, recording intro segment one now. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to In the Back of the Class NBA podcast. I'm your boy A Love,
Yo, this is easy.
and this is In the Back of the Class NBA podcast. Thanks again for downloading, streaming, whatever, however you're listening to this. We really appreciate it. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. We got Twitter at In the Back of the Class. Look us up on Facebook, and also be on the lookout for the YouTube channel. It's actually up and running now, and then we're going to be doing some more stuff with that in the future. So, been a great NBA week, man. Easy. How was your week personally, man?
Uh, it was all right, man. I feel like I just keep singing the same old story, man. My life is, I guess, is getting redundant and boring. Just pouring drinks and playing video games. Like, hey, I'm not really doing anything, man. What about you?
Hey, man. I guess that's just the age we at, man. Because I think I could say the same, man. I ain't been doing much, or at least anything different, last couple of weeks. So, but all in all, it's a good week. We're alive. We're back here recording, and we get to speak to these people about basketball, man. So, I guess you ready to get started, man?
Yeah, man.
All right,
Let's go.
get into it. All right, easy. So I guess by now everyone has heard the comments Kevin Durant had on playing with LeBron James. Some of the remarks he made were, it's a toxic environment he creates. Nobody wants to go really be a part of that.
Or no superstar.
No superstar wants to really go be a part of that. He called out the media fanboys as being a reason that it is toxic. So I guess, what were your initial thoughts on that, man, when you heard that or read it or however you came about that?
I I think KD's right. I think KD's 100% right. I don't think KD said anything wrong, and he wasn't disrespecting LeBron. He was just speaking his opinion. LeBron does have a lot of media fanboys, Colin, but Nick, right? But yeah, he do have a lot of Shannon, but he do have a lot of media fanboys. So and you see a lot of the times with LeBron, when they win, he gets 100% of the credit, and when they lose, the team, everybody but him gets 100% of the blame. So I can see how that can be toxic. So I'm not disagreeing with KD. KD has been acting a lot sensitive lately.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why.
What is your opinion, Anthony?
Yeah,
Love.
right. So anyway, my opinion is that you really can't disagree with KD. I agree with you, man. He really was. I don't think he meant as a disrespect to LeBron. They have a weird relationship anyway. Example, that weird rap video they released this summer. But they,
and Kobe would watch both of them. They were trash.
Oh, that's another segment. The best MC NBA MC ever.
Kobe would eat them.
We're gonna have to talk about that. But anyway, I think KD's right on, man. Like, it's got to be tough for a superstar. Now, for like a role player or somebody, I mean, no. Why wouldn't you want to go there and take all the blame but win some championships, have a chance to win the championship? But for a superstar, yeah, it's got to be like you said, toxic, man. You're gonna get a lot of the blame. Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, he actually used them as examples in the article. One thing that I thought was interesting was listening to somebody you just referenced there, Nick Wright. He had a interesting, I guess, conspiracy theory, if you will. He said that KD is just saying that to try to dissuade Kawhi from joining the Lakers so that KD can have that salary spot to himself. Don't know how much I believe that, but anyway, I can't see it as disrespect. In some ways, it's true, man. So what can you do, man? You know, it is
We
what
can
it
stop listening to Nick Wright. That's what we can do.
is. Nick Wright has some
And his
valid points.
conspiracy theories. Oh
Uh,
my God.
I think just LeBron
Who,
didn't take Nick
what
Wright.
psychology school did Nick Wright go to? My God.
This stuff is public knowledge now. Anybody can have access to it easy. And obviously Nick Wright is taking the time to study the psychology of some of these guys.
Oh my God.
Maybe not.
Nick Wright studying psychology.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, if Nick Wright's a psychologist, I'm an astronaut.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see, man. You think KD jealous of LeBron?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think they do have like a weird frenemy friendship, but
Yeah.
it's like, how can I put it? It's like a mean girls competitiveness that they have with each other. You know, that they're not all the way competitive. Like, it's not like, well, I want to kill him or whatever, but it is a little cattiness, you know, like
Yeah.
we wear pink on Wednesday
Yeah.
type of cattiness that they got going on. But no, I don't think KD's jealous. I just think he wants to be number one, and
Yeah.
um, everybody's a lot of the media see LeBron as number one. So,
Interesting.
do you think KD's jealous?
Do I think KD jealous? I think in some ways, yeah, I can see KD being jealous, man. You know, like you said, he wants to be number one, and LeBron is that. Well, as long as LeBron is around, KD can never be number one. And a lot of it, he feels that is because of those fanboys in the media that inflate the greatness of LeBron. Although he never really came out and said, it's inflating his greatness. But I think you see certain things, when KD gets asked stuff in the media, he kind of gets a little like perturbed by it. And I think he would probably prefer to be given that crown of best player outright.
I think KD wants to be seen as number one in the media. You know, I think that's what it is. And KD's a little sensitive,
Yeah.
I think he's a little sensitive, and so when the media puts him as number two, or some people, put him below that, I think he's a little sensitive to that, and I think he believes that he's number one. Yeah. It's just like not everybody's seeing it.
And he's always had like a weird relationship with the media. Even going back to OKC, like him and Russ, man, they had a weird, spiteful relationship with the media. So media has always kind of been a thing that KD's paid attention to. Plus, with the fact he made those burner accounts on Twitter, man, kind of.
I know. He could have just paid me to be a burner account.
Hey, I would took some cash. But KD's an interesting dude.
Yeah. So, going into the next topic, I seen that Max Kellerman had KD outside of his top five. My question to you is, do you? Oh, no. Okay, so Max Kellerman had him out his top five. I seen Shaq had Kawhi as number two, and I'm kind of seeing like people lowering KD outside of the top two. Do you think Kevin Durant is? Do you think Kevin Durant is still a top two player in the league?
Oh yeah, definitely. As much as I love to root against Kevin Durant, you got to say he's in the top two conversation. I mean, just from what he done in the finals last year and the year before that, he had everybody asking, how can you stop him? I mean, he's 7'1" with a pull-up jump shot that is just sweet. He can knock it down mid-range, off the dribble, spot up, a three-point spot up, take it to the cup and finish. Plus his defense, he's been playing the best defense I've seen him play in the last probably his whole career. Last year and the year before, especially the year before, like he stepped his defensive game up. So until I've seen KD win the championships. I've seen KD get the Finals MVP. I've seen KD compete at a high level at the other guy who's always in the conversation for the greatest player or the best player in the league, LeBron James. I've seen him compete against him and beat him. So yeah, how can KD not be number two? That's ridiculous, and it kind of hurts my feelings that I was just taking up for Nick Wright a few seconds ago, and then you hit me with this topic where Nick Wright puts out this crazy, silly list where KD is outside the top 5. Oh man, I respect
it was Max
everything.
Kellerman.
Oh, it's Max Kellerman.
Yeah, it was Max Kellerman that put KD outside his. I don't know where Nick Wright has him. I know I seen Max Kellerman had KD outside his top 5.
Oh, then me and Nick Wright are still on good terms. So anyway, he's number 2, man. Yeah, I mean, what do you think? What do you got KD at?
I have KD, Kevin Durant, the Slum Reaper. 1/5 of that Infinity Stone. As the best player in the league. I mean, KD is a 50. He can be a 50, 40, 90 player at 7 foot, unstoppable. Can nobody guard him? He's defensively, he's playing top-notch defense. Then on top of that, and then you've seen it that he can lead a team on his own, especially his MVP season when Russ got injured. Like, a lot of people forget that when they say, well, he needed to. No, KD just took the easy way out. KD can lead a team can be the star of a team, can have his own organization behind him and everything. So I think Kevin Durant is the best player in the league. And I think he's unstoppable. So he's more unstoppable than Kawhi, Giannis. I think he's more unstoppable than LeBron because he's so versatile as a scorer. You know, Kevin Durant is my number 1.
That and you really can't argue with that, because like I said, from what he has done in the last 2 finals. I'm interested, man. I heard you say Kawhi is at number 2. And
that's what Shaq said.
Shaq says, well, where do some of these guys have Giannis? Because I know a lot of folks are throwing Giannis out there to be like actually top 2, if not number 1 in some people's list. But how can you put Giannis over KD, man? That's you can't do that yet.
The disrespect, and I think KD has a point when he says the media sways people's opinions because Giannis hasn't done anything yet to surpass a Kevin Durant.
Not at all.
So you can argue Kawhi, Finals MVP, best 2-time defensive player. You can argue Kawhi, and you see what Kawhi's doing with the Raptors.
Yeah.
Giannis, come on now.
See, I think there's that thought that gives like Kawhi's like, MVP, Finals MVP and Finals championships as a part of I think they say he's great, but they probably contribute a lot of that success to Greg Popovich and the Spurs system. So if Kawhi can take this really good Toronto team to the finals and compete, beat the Warriors, I mean, that right there was cemented. He's the best player in the league.
I agree. If he does that,
that's all he got to do. But like you said, Giannis, man, we got to see Giannis. We got to see him at least in the Eastern Conference Final.
We got to see him win a playoff round.
Exactly.
He hasn't won a playoff round. The disrespect, the audacity. To disrespect a Kevin Durant, I'm putting him outside of your top 5.
You must just hate Kevin Durant to do that. And we're gonna talk about them Bucks a little bit later, man. In the big game that they played against the Raptors, and 2 of them guys, they play on both those teams. So those are the only 2 guys that I can think in my mind that'll be coming close to that, getting into that top 2 conversation. If it ain't LeBron and KD, I mean. But yeah, it's got to be LeBron and KD, I guess.
I'll let somebody slide with Kawhi. You was not gonna hit me with Giannis. Not yet. And the people who put him in the top 2 best player in the league can't even pronounce his last name. You can't. I don't respect that.
I just learned like 2 days ago. I said, you know how you look up in the dictionary and the guy like spells out like how to pronounce it. I found a website with it and I practiced it. I'm not going to attempt it yet. I still need a couple more practices. But we'll see.
I don't know. I'm not even going to try it.
Nah.
I know it starts with an A.
It starts with an A. Y'all call him the Greek Freak?
Yeah, just Greek
Freak. Oh, man.
I was gonna say a lot of people pronounce his first name wrong.
Yeah.
Giannis.
Giannis, the giant Giannis. Yeah, I don't know, man. Hey, I heard a rumor that dude tried to buy like a what was it? He tried to buy like an arena like on the street, like cash or something. It was like a story. It was a funny story. Like when he first came over here, he got all that big old NBA contract, and he's like, you know, he wants to spend that money, and he tried to buy something just like crazy outrageous, and the dude was like, dude, no, you can't do that. He said, why not? Well, it's America. But that's funny. But yo. All right, so we're gonna start a new segment here. We're gonna do, and it's called the Legend Look Back. Every so often, maybe every episode, maybe every other episode, we're gonna look back at an NBA legend, and we're gonna analyze his career, and we're gonna try to answer the question: does this legend get the respect he deserves? Is he overrated or is he underrated? And so this is gonna be the first one. So Easy, tell the people who we're gonna look back on today.
Our first legend that we're gonna look back is probably one of the most debated legends of all time. You know, some people, you know, you ask the older generation, they put him as the best player ever. You look at this younger generation, a lot of the younger generation says he's overrated and he didn't play against a lot of competition. You know, so the first legend we're gonna look at is the great Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain chain dangling. Wilt Chamberlain, the legend. Hey, love, I'm gonna let you go first. Do you think Wilt Chamberlain is underrated or overrated? Because I'm gonna talk nice about my guy.
Man, I think that he is underrated, man. Definitely underrated. A dude that averaged 30 points, 4 assists, 22 rebounds, shot 54% from the field for a career. 7'1" center, uh, strong. Everybody, the stories are how strong he was. I think he's underrated, man. Because like you said, a lot of the younger guys, they talk about the air. They think they know air so well, but they really don't. Will played against Bill Russell and those great Celtics teams, plus the host of other talented teams, and he dominated. He stood out. Um, you know, 2 championships. He's the only center to lead the NBA in assists. That shows his versatility. I think that Wilt does not get the respect he does today. A lot of people say Shaq will kill Wilt. No, not at all. Apparently, Wilt was quicker as Shaq and just as strong as Shaq was. My man Wilt. There's a thing that's out there that talks about how he used to train and lift weights with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he's just a crazy athlete, man. And if he was given, you know, the chance to play in today's game, he's born today, I could probably see him playing in the league today. So yeah, I think Wilt is a great. I think he's in the top 5 greatest player of all time category, if not the top 3. So yeah, I think he deserves the credit he has gotten. I think he deserves more, man. But what's your perception of Wilt still, man? What do you see when you look back?
Wilton Norman Chamberlain. I just looked up his full name. Wilt the Stilt, man. I'm gonna be honest. When you go back and you look at Wilt, Wilt might not just be the greatest athlete in the NBA of all time, but he might just be the greatest athlete ever.
Mm.
You know, if we was to have like a fantasy draft of all the players in NBA history, I'm picking Wilt first.
Oh,
Wilt will be my first pick. Wilt was 7'1". They say Wilt ran a 4'6", 4'6" 40.
wow.
You know who else runs a 4'6" 40?
Who's
They
that?
say LeBron James and Michael Jordan ran a 4'6".
Wow.
They say he has a 40+ vertical.
Wow.
Wilt was a track star. They said at age 50, Wilt was still benching around 400 to 500 pounds.
That's crazy.
They say Shaq at his prime was benching 450. So Wilt will kill Shaq. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Oh
He
yeah.
would kill Shaq. And I want you youngins to go look at video of Wilt's athleticism. There's video footage of him running down the court. I mean, and if he was born in 1990, you can see
Yeah.
him in the NBA doing the stuff that Giannis do.
Dominating. He's a. I'm gonna go out and say it. He's a better Giannis. Because apparently he could shoot. They said he could have averaged more points, but he was actually such a gifted passer, and he looked to incorporate other teammates and stuff. They said he
at the end of his career,
more points than what he could have, what he ended up with. But
he was a bad free throw shooter, and they said he missed out.
Free throw shooter.
They said he missed out on I want to say around 2,000 points just off missed free throws.
Good Lord, man! I wish I could go back and work on my free throw game like when I was playing, man. Because it's harder than it looks, man.
I know. Yeah, ask LeBron, but no, but Wilt was a top-notch athlete. A 7'1", ran a 4'6". They say he had at least a 7'8" wingspan. His hands were bigger than Kawhi.
Crazy.
And I heard something recently. That said at age 50, the New Jersey Nets, tried to get him offered him a contract to come back and play at age 50. He was in that type of shape.
That's crazy, man.
Hey. And let's not forget. One last thing. He was balling for the Harlem Globetrotters too.
Ah, yes. True ambassador of the game. If you go ball with them brothers and you're from the mainstream, you have submitted to your legend. If Mike today would walk out and jump in there like a Harlem Globetrotters jersey and play like just a 2-city tour with him, I would stop ever saying LeBron will be better than him. That's all it takes. That's all it takes, man. You know what it made me think, man, is that a lot of Wilt, I think, had 2 championships, but he has a lot of final losses, and a lot of people looking back, they'll always say Wilt wasn't even better than Russell, and Russell had the advantage of those way more talented team, Hall of Famers, man. And made me think how that could sort of be like LeBron's story, Will LeBron's legacy be like Wilt's, where we look back, or a lot of people look back and use that finals record and losing all the time to one guy and one team as a hit and knock to his legacy. So would that hurt LeBron's legacy later on?
I don't know now, because I think LeBron's situation, the Will situation, is different, because when you look at the Boston Celtics in those days, they had Hall of Famers coming off the bench. Mm-hmm. And then those series are a lot closer than what people like. A lot of them series were game 7s, and they were within 1-2 points, a few points here and there. So a couple possessions, go Wilt's favor. Wilt has 4 or 5 rings. Compared to 2, and now we're looking at Wilt as the legend. We're looking at Wilt as the greatest of all time. So, I think that's what hurt Wilt. But then, like I said, once you look back at those series, those Boston series were a lot closer, and he had less talented teams. So, Wilt Chamberlain is definitely underrated. I used to say that young stuff too. Like, he played against, but you look at the measurables, and you look at what he went through. Against the Boston Celtics, Will is definitely underrated.
There is a lot of people talk about how they say he was like the biggest. He played against small people, and everybody was small in the league. Steve Smith wrote an article back in 2009. Basically, he was real thought out article where he actually says that Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest player of all time, but he makes a nice little argument, and he touched on that one as being like the main, him playing in the league with small players, and he lines out like the height of all the players that Wilt played against. You see, the league wasn't as small as we like to look back and think back in the day, and so there
were some other big man. You were Wes Unseld with Nate Thurman, Russell, Kareem.
The article's called "A Greatness Revisited: Why Wilt Chamberlain was the greatest NBA player ever." It's by Steve Smith. So y'all check that out. It's a cool article. Kind of gives a little bit of credence what we're saying here. So check that out because Love and Eezy do their homework before we talk about stuff to you people.
For sure.
So
shout out to Gucci man. Wilt Chamberlain chain dangling.
Gucci. Yeah, man.
Hey, Love, I wanted to ask you because it was last week or a few days ago, the Bucks versus the Raptors game happened, and it seemed like it was a fight for the JV Eastern Conference supremacy. And unfortunately for me, my lady had her cards hold, and I had to spend most of my day with that situation. So I didn't get to watch the game. So, hey, Love, what is your opinion about what happened with the Bucks beating the Raptors?
So the Bucks beat the Raptors, and this is the second time, Eezy? This is the second time they beat them?
That's the second time.
Second time. So I think let me just say this. What does it mean in the whole scheme of things? Because they beat them the second time, I think they might have some type of matchup advantage that they identified. So we'll get to see that because I do believe they play once more. And like I said, it could be a matchup in the playoff. But nobody believes in the Bucks, man. The Bucks to me, like the real deal. So I think the Bucks could be a team to come up out of the East and compete in the NBA Finals. I can't see them beating the Warriors, but I could definitely see them coming out of the East. Just because, they play defense, man. They play defense really good. They got a up-and-coming star player, and they got a deep team. So what this game really meant, I like to see. I like to see the Bucks beat the Raptors. I really like the Raptors too, but I like to see that because, like I said, nobody believes in the Bucks. I believe in the Bucks.
You believe in the Bucks?
I believe in the Bucks, but why do you believe in the Bucks?
No, I do not believe in the Bucks.
You don't believe in the Bucks either.
Nah.
What's wrong?
Well, the first time they beat Toronto, Kawhi or Giannis didn't play. So,
right.
So I don't know. I don't know what that means, but it's regular season. It's regular season. I think once the playoffs come, it's a whole different thing. I think because Giannis is such a one-dimensional player, I think in a 7-game series, the team can really zone in and figure out Giannis and take out what he does best and give him problems, And I think once you give Giannis problems, I think they're just kind of I think you could take away the whole team. But I don't see them being better than Toronto's. They're finally looking like dinosaurs instead of baby Raptors. I don't see them beating my guy Jimmy Buckets and friends in the 7-game series. I don't see them beating Boston.
Who do you got coming out the East? In your opinion,
I still have Boston. I still have Celtics. Yeah. I think I just see Boston getting better as the season progresses.
Right.
I think after All-Star break, they're just gonna start getting things rolling, start heating up. Everybody gonna start, getting, the cohesiveness is going to come back, and they're still gonna be the team to beat. They're so deep, and
I don't see it with Boston, man.
You don't see it with Boston?
Nah, man. First of all, Kyrie can't ever stay not injured. He can't ever stay healthy. I'm willing to go out on a limb and bet any amount of money that Kyrie will miss at least 2 playoff games this year, just because he's so injury prone. I don't believe in the Celtics unless they can swing some crazy trade at the deadline, and I would trade Kyrie. I would like I said, Toronto's probably the best team in my opinion in the East right now. But what the Bucks do really well, one of the things they do really well is they play really good defense, man. And defense can take you, especially in the East, the JVs as you call it, defense can take you to the championship through the East if you can play that. I think we was talking one day about the first team LeBron James took to the finals. That team, what they did, on defense. That team should never have been in the finals, but they were able to get to the East into the finals because they played defense. So I believe in the Bucks, man. But I don't know. I think you should believe in the Bucks, man. I want you to believe in the Bucks.
I don't believe in the Bucks. I think you have the top three: Boston, Philly, Toronto, and then I think you have the next two, which is Milwaukee and Indiana.
Yeah.
So I mean, they haven't done anything for me to believe in them.
Ooh, dang, man. The Pacers, that's a forgotten squad, I feel like, man. Like the old Pacers.
They are forgotten.
Yeah, they are. I like to see that game. Because I think they play coming up here. Yeah, actually tonight, man, Bucks and Pacers, brother.
Bucks and Pacers.
It's in Indianapolis. You think you could get us some tickets, man? And I would like take a train up there right now. We could probably make it. There you go.
Let me see if I can find some boosters out here in Chicago. They can hook me up with some Pacers tickets.
That would be dope. That would be dope, man.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to throw something at you easy, just because I know that you are. I'm gonna call an apologist of his. The NF Cavaliers.
Apologist.
The NF Cavaliers are finally committing to a rebuild. So they trading all these players. They're trying to get rid of JR. I don't know nobody wants to take JR. So he ain't even with the team. So my question to you is, who could use Kevin Love?
Who can use Kevin Love? Yeah, Kevin Love, is my guy. I like Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love has superstar talent, and I think in the right situation, he can contribute to a championship team. Two teams I can see Kevin Love going to. Number one is the Oklahoma City Thunders. Reunite with Westbrook, California. UCLA
buddies, yeah.
Yeah, UCLA buddies. And who he was better than in college. A lot of people had Kevin Love Westbrook in college.
Yes, there goes that college game not telling us nothing about the NBA.
He was 26 and come on, he was 26 and 15. And the second team is the Utah Jazz.
That'd be interesting.
I can see him going
to that too. He fits into that. You know what I mean? He like that whole Utah pale.
Yeah. Pale.
It's a border city, man. Salt Lake is a border city. Utah's a border state, and the big city's a border city.
And I throw out a third team that make the West a little more interesting.
Oh, who's this?
The Portland Trailblazers.
Oh. Ooh, man.
Isn't he from Portland too?
I believe so. I believe
he's from Portland. So he can go home to the Portland Trailblazers, and you give him that inside presence that the Trailblazers haven't had since LaMarcus Aldridge.
I like that. I like the OKC team, man. If he went there, I think that would be a real game changer because they're already, I believe they're number one in the West right now.
Yeah.
So I would think that'd be interesting and game changing for them. The problem is my man has a huge contract. Like, would they be able to fit that in? But definitely be able to use them. But here's the thing too, man, is he's hurt right now. He's been hurt most of the season. Anybody who does get him, they got to know, like, there's a high chance to get hurt in the playoffs. So how valuable can he be? I really think he hurt his value last couple of years, man. So true. LeBron was looking to him to be a number 2 last year throughout the playoffs. He had a couple of games, but in the finals, again, K-Love was nowhere to step up to the superstar potential that you say he has.
Didn't Kevin Love average 21 and 11 in the finals last year?
Didn't he 21 and 11?
Didn't he average 20 and 11?
What
last
a,
year in the finals?
even worse, what an ineffective 2011. Look, you pay for 2011 and take it with.
Oh my
Easy.
God.
That's what it equates to me for Kevin K.
Idiot.
Love. This is what I've been
Oh
trying to
man.
tell you, brother. Is that K. Love, Chris Bosh too. The brothers,
Oh,
the
Chris
brothers
Bosh
could
slander.
play for teams, put up these crazy, ridiculous numbers. They could squeak into a playoff, and they can't get it done. They can't even get to the East, the
Wow.
conference finals. In some way, somehow, you think that they're like Pippinish. You think they're like great as Scottie Pippen.
I think they might be better than Scott. I think that's another
No
that's
way.
going to be an interesting. That's going to be an interesting overrated underlooking legend.
Oh,
That's
Scottie
going to be an
Pippen.
interesting. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God.
Hey, shameless plug. I got a crazy story about Scottie Pippen too. A crazy true story about Scottie Pippen. This stuff is wild. Y'all have to. I tell you what. Next episode, we're gonna do Legend Look Back at Scottie Pippen, and I will
We're
tell
going to do
it.
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
That brother.
let's do that. I've been seeing a lot of Scottie Pippen lately.
Oh yeah, Scottie been popping up a lot, man.
Oh my God.
Oh, I don't even.
Like Kevin Durant says, media fanboys.
KD, sister of KD. Man, look
Yeah.
how we got on Scottie Pippen, man. I forgot what we was we
We were
talking
talking about Kevin Love.
about Kevin
You were
Love.
bashing Kevin Love and Chris Bosh, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you continue on
No, go ahead, tell me, man.
with the slander.
What's up with you? Like they can't win. Easy, they can't win, man.
Well, I mean, because see, the thing is, like as LeBron fans, you all said LeBron didn't have any help. So let's look at the team. Look at the teams before Chris Bosh and Kevin Love went Toronto and Minnesota. Look at the teams that they had. Wasn't Wally Zerbiak still playing in Minnesota with Kevin Love? Like,
Hey, don't dog Wally. I used to get down with Wally back in 2K.
his name is Wally. Like,
Well,
come
yeah,
on,
man,
he got a used car salesman name. Like, no.
Wally.
Look at the teams. And this is all, Kevin Love was playing in the Hunger Games, that is the Western Conference. He was playing in the Hunger Games, and he was fighting for the AFC. So just Kevin Love. 20, you cannot deny. 20-something and 15 boys.
I guess if he could stay healthy, he could have shown us what he was and what he is.
And Chris Bosh made a lot of big plays for them Heat. Let's not forget the rebound that LeBron bricked so horrible.
No. Yeah, Chris
And
Bosh.
the block
I love
Tony Parker.
Chris Bosh, but what I don't love is this narrative that Chris Bosh was a great player that LeBron couldn't even win with. Chris Bosh was effective when he played with Miami, but Chris Bosh did not live up to what Chris Bosh was supposed to be.
Because LeBron took away from what Chris Bosh does. Then you see before LeBron, his numbers were up. During LeBron, his number went down. After LeBron, his numbers went back up. Him and Dwayne Wade. But the man got blood clots. So
Yeah, man. He's retired officially now, right? Or is he not?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That's sad.
I was hoping for that comeback.
Me too.
I was hoping he'd come back and go back to his 2010 days.
There was no way.
Point my finger at y'all. No way.
There was no way.
He was like 19-10 before he got them blood clots.
Oh, no, I'm talking about like if he would have came back.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. He's in his 30s now, so that's still unsolved mystery.
Well, yeah, we never know. Never know, man. We never know. Who knows? So Easy, we came to the end of another show, man. These people have no idea what we've been through to get to this point.
A lot of technical difficulties.
A lot. But we trudged through it. We got through it. So before we get out of here, let's hit the people with what we're going to be watching for this week. So what are you going to be watching for this week, Easy?
What I'm going to be watching for is the Hunger, like who's going to be on top of the Hunger Games, that is the Western Conference this week. 1 week, last week it was the Clippers, the week before it was Portland.
Yeah.
Now it's Oklahoma. Now it's look like It's Oklahoma this week. Now it's looking like Death Row Records is
They're gonna
coming
come
back.
back.
The Golden State Warriors. So that's what I'm looking for. Who's going to be on top of the Western Conference this week? Who's going to win the Hunger Games?
It's always interesting. Always interesting.
And fun fact about the Western Conference: the number one team right now is Oklahoma with 17 wins. Then you have Golden State with 19, Denver at 18. But then you have the Houston Rockets at 14 with 12.
Oh,
So
wow. That's interesting.
it's
Very interesting.
really, yes, it is.
And in those top, and even look at that. LBJ got the up Lakers up there at fifth, a game and a half out. But the top four teams, the top three teams are half a game within a half a game of each other. That is an interesting conference. Very interesting conference.
Yeah.
We'll see. Can't wait to playoffs, man. Let's just skip through everything. Just have a playoff right now. Let's go.
I'm looking for the end of the season. I want to see the fight for the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
I think that's going to be more interesting
You're right.
than the actual playoffs. Who's fighting to get in?
And if it stays like this, man, I mean, oh my goodness, everybody's gonna be fighting for like the top. Like we're gonna see changes every second in like the top 5 spots.
I know.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I like it.
So what I'm gonna be watching for this week is I'm gonna be watching for them Bucks, man. I'm gonna be watching for them Bucks to instill belief in all the non-believers. The Bucks got the Pacers tonight. They're gonna be on the road in Indiana. I see the Bucks going in there, whooping up on them, and to continue to prove all these doubters wrong. Give me the Bucks.
Make me a believer. Make me a believer. Prove me wrong, Giannis. I don't have any faith in
Giannis, not the best player in the league, but he's good enough to get the Bucks through the East.
He has the best bandwagon in the league.
He does got a serious crazy bandwagon, man.
Yeah, he has a crazy bandwagon. Like a lot of people, you don't never hear anybody talk negative about Giannis.
He's that hot thing right now, man. He's that hot thing. That's what's gonna be so boring when LeBron retires, man. Is that everybody's looking for the new hot player to dethrone LeBron. When he finally retires, everybody, we already just talked about, they already dethroned KD and he didn't do nothing. He's got a finals MVP and 2 rings, saying, they started trying to dethrone him on number 2. So
LeBron does bring the drama. He does bring the drama. He brings the drama. He is the Paris Hilton of the NBA.
Paris.
No, that's too low. Paris is kind of low, right? He's the Kim Kardashian of the NBA.
Okay, here goes. Full disclosure, and I think I might be telling on you too, brother. I used to be a huge wrestling fan back in the day. Huge wrestling fan.
Please don't disrespect any legend wrestlers.
And I used to always hate the NWO, but I loved watching because the NWO was on there and they gave you somebody to hate. And that's how I think LeBron is. Y'all hate LeBron, so y'all watch to see LeBron fail. But when LeBron is gone, just like when the NWO left, I started paying attention to like, oh yeah, maybe this is fake. It's boring. And I stopped watching. When LeBron leaves, I fear that a lot of you haters might stop watching.
To be honest, LeBron since like his sophomore, junior year of high school, he had such a media hype around him. So I really think that's what it is, and it got bigger and bigger because he's lived up to expectation. I give him that.
Oh yeah,
he's lived up to expectation as being one of the greatest players. I give him that. But he has such a media hype beast around LeBron. So whether you love or hate him, is always some news with LeBron.
It's gonna move the needle. Well, look at us. We trying to get out here. We got back on LeBron, man.
Just like a Kardashian.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't argue there. But yeah, thanks again, everyone, for downloading, streaming, however you listen. We appreciate it. Reach out to us on social media. If you have any questions you'd like us to, talk about or any topics you'd like us to discuss, send it to us. And we might even have you call in and discuss it with us. Hey, that might be something new. Who knows?
Right.
But Eezy, tell the people what we tell them all the time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody for listening. You know, me and A Love, we were two class clowns back in the day, cutting up in class. Now we're two adults speaking our opinions on the NBA. This is in the back of the class NBA podcast. This is your boy Easy.
This A Love.
All right, peace.
Peace.